Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We'll turn the camera on in a minute. Good evening, everybody.
Whoops.
Hopefully you can hear me okay.
I guess you can hear me okay because I could hear myself. I am still so getting used to this. Hi, Susan. Hi, Tanya. Yes, I was aware that Linda was your mom. I kind of figured that out. I didn't know directly, but I kind of figured that out. It's the Scorpio, you know. Heard an echo. Now, if you want to have your name show up in the over here on StreamYard where I'm seeing it, and then we can put your comments up like this, then you have to go click that link that's in the post and tell Facebook that it's okay to show your name. If you don't want to, that's fine. Don't do it because I can kind of come over. Oh, hey, Brittany. So if you click that link up there, then we can see it. But you don't have to. You don't have to. It's just there if you want to. But one thing I do love about this is I can put these up and I can say, hey, chat on YouTube. And happy Easter to everybody. And happy Passover weekend. I don't know if Sophie's going to be able to join us, but those who are celebrating Passover, see, I love being able, oh, look at the family, look at the grandkids. I love being able to put these things up. Brittany, the link is in the post, and that's about the best I can tell you. It's in the post. Yeah, you can hear okay, right? Yeah, I think so, because I've got my sound up and it's seems to be working.
Yeah, you can hear okay, right?
Yeah, got it. I hope everybody had a good day with your family or just resting, relaxing, whatever you were doing today. And thanks for joining us here tonight. This is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time tonight. I think everybody's highly anticipating our getting together now on these healing convergences are really taking off energetically. Thanks, Fred. That's a Fred Dodson. That's a Fred Dodson rub off there for sure. So, where is Thomas? First of all, we'll do that. I'm in a hotel. So I was in that beautiful home here in Asheville, house sitting and taking care of those adorable cats this past week. And today the family came back and it was time to leave. So I figured that it would be hard to come here and come visit in New York. Hang on to that, Susan. Hang on to that. Brittany, I don't see your name, but maybe if you log out and log back in or refresh your screen, you probably don't even have to log out and log back in. Just refresh your screen and it might work. So, music to my ears, Susan. For how long? We need to negotiate right here. So, I thought it would be hard to do healing convergence tonight if I had a pending eviction order from the Asheville Police Department. So I left voluntarily. I was like, oh, wow. It was so cool. You guys, I went on this hike last night that goes back behind where I was, and it goes way up there. And that's one of the things that I really needed was some good exercise in my heart. Jean, hey, how are you? Glad you're here. Woohoo. I'm not going to tell all I know unless you say it's okay. Anyway, had this amazing hike. And you go up to the top behind, and it's gorgeous homes back there. And when you get up toward the top, then you realize that you are surrounded by hills. And you know what it made me think? I just was standing there and looking around, and there's almost this 360-degree panorama of one hill. I mean, North Carolina, they're mountains, hills, however you want to describe it, but in these, these peaks, and then another and another and another. And it made me think of Rome and the seven hills. I don't know why. But it was, wow, some cool energy. So, so Jean says that it's okay. And this was Jean's home that I was staying in. So, Jean, I owe you just an amazing debt of gratitude here in front of everybody. I hope that if there was an applause button or a thank you button or a heart button or anything, it goes to Jean, because, oh my gosh, it was just so needed, number one, and so appreciated, number two. And the energy there, well, you saw. So Jean has created quite a something there that is absolutely beautiful. So I really appreciate it. And she says, thanks for taking care of the cats while they were on vacation. And that was an absolute privilege. I felt like a cross between Mrs. Doubtfire and Mary Poppins. I'm not sure which. And some of that depended on how the cats were doing, whether they had the upper hand or not. And it went back and forth all week, including today. So, I mean, it's like, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. So thank you again for that. I really appreciate it. I think you know how grateful I am. All right. Yes, they sure were. And I recorded Monday and Tuesday's video version of the Fun Astrology podcast today, and I opened the windows so that the cats would be in there. So you'll see them a couple more days. Those were already recorded. So, so thank you again. Okay. Couple of things that we're going to roll on into tonight. First of all, how about some chatter in here about how everybody is doing this week? Little check-in, energy-wise, physically, health, etc. Wanted to do a shout out. I don't know if she's on here or not. Nancy Nooney's birthday is today, and Nancy has been a long-time listener to the podcasts and just a great support, lives in Florida. And I just wanted to say a very special happy birthday, Nancy. Hope you have had a great day, and what a beautiful, wonderful day to celebrate your birthday as well. So thank you for that. So yeah, just a little check-in. I'd love to see what some of you guys, how you're doing. So let's do that. And while you're dropping those things in, I thought this is a really cool day and weekend, because, as we have been doing this since August and sending this energy up into the sky every Sunday night, and I know you guys are feeling the energy that, hey, Paul and Susan were at Fred's seminar in Orlando, and they are precious people. I mean, amazing. You guys are the best. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys are all the best. But we just had a wonderful visit out by the pool, and really connected. And I'm totally connected, actually. We had a really great conversation, which happens whenever we get together. And I hope I can figure this van thing out at least enough to be able to come around and be able to meet more of you guys, because that would just, it's so special when that happens. Oh my gosh. And it makes these, lifelong friendships, right, that we're creating. I mean, we have them online, but boy, when we get to meet in person, it is just incredible. So one of the things, and I appreciate you guys dropping in, I'm going to catch up on these comments here in just a second. So one of the things that converged this weekend, talk about healing convergence. Well, we had another convergence this weekend that parallels exactly what we've been doing. And that is that 3 of the, I'd say 5 major religions in the world have very special holy days and weekend events going on that converged this weekend. So Ramadan started on April 2nd. And then Passover started Friday night. Friday, of course, was Good Friday. And then today was Easter. So just this amazing, if you think about what we're doing on this scale, that, and I know I don't think there's anybody here that would kind of argue against that religions can inject stuff, right? We know that. But wow, pushing all of that aside, there are billions of people this weekend from major faiths, from their hearts, things that are very sacred and important to them, that have been lifting up very high energy this whole weekend. So, one of the things I saw as just scanning down here, let's just check in on a couple of these comments that you guys have had. And I was seeing you all were doing well. Okay, here's Melissa saying high energy. Such a good week. Great. Lots of synchronization. See, I love being able to put these comments up, and StreamYard lets us do that. So I hope everybody has found where we are here. Yeah, Clubhouse was really great. That's that little app that we did. And good. Excellent. Let's talk about that. Rogue, maybe you could give us some more comments on that. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, we're going to talk about the list. We are going to talk about the list. Oh, you got in your townhome. Yay! Liz has been building her dream home and got closed and in it a week early. Congratulations. Wow. Fantastic. That's great. Hey, Brittany. Good. Glad to hear that. Oh, wow. That sounds cool. So listen, this has become just a really open group of love and support and encouragement. So if there's anything around what you're going through that you'd like to share, you will find that to be true. And we are combining energy to help send it to you to heal. And that has been incredibly powerful. Whoa. I mean, so feel free to open up about anything that you've got going on, challenges. We'd be happy to talk through that. So last week, we talked about this alignment with source from Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention. So what was the definition of intention? Well, connecting with source is basically what the whole book was about. Connecting with source. What a perfect weekend to explore that. So we talked about it last week, did a podcast. It's the most current podcast episode. And what we talked about were really two things, two components to this, two pieces. One is, in order to connect with source, I used the example of my friend who was in between relationships. And a friend gave him some very wise advice. He said, so you're going to be looking for your next partner. Make a list of every single thing, everything that you would want in that partner. Make a list, write it down. And my friend did, and came back a couple of weeks later and said, I've been working on the list. I have it. And this very wise friend of his said, now become that list. Yeah, but right? Oh boy, all kinds of resistance flags. So we think about that same thing with source. It's a perfect analogy. And then you think about, why can we not manifest stuff? Well, if we are co-creators with source and we're not in alignment with source, there you go. I mean, you don't have to spend money at all to figure it out. We're out of alignment. So the big thing here is to be able to define what source means to us, basically, and then also to align with that and see where resistances come up. And that's where the match game was kind of the second part, because the match game is that we're constantly monitoring everything that's going on through the day. And I mean, this is hard. This is hard stuff. This is rubber meets the road stuff. That we start monitoring where we are and define, is this a match with my list? Is this a match with source? Am I in alignment? And when we're not, we change. That's it. We just change. We don't make ourselves wrong. We're just like, oh, wait a minute. You know what? This is out of alignment. What am I going to do here? Right? It's a real simple process. So one of the things that I thought we could do tonight, I'm going to break stride on this. Oh, I wanted to show you this real quick first. This, of course, is an astrology chart, and it's from Friday at 12 noon. And what you're looking at here is you see the green lines that are pointing down to the bottom. That's the moon that's circled down there at the bottom. And then I think everybody pretty much knows what Venus looks like. That's the one in the upper right. And then the two that are circled, that's Mercury on the right and Uranus on the left. And this aspect is called a yod. And the yod is yod or yod, Y-O-D, is the 10th letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So Friday, of course, was the beginning of Passover. And if you dig in and do a little study, just briefly, you don't have to dig very far, you see that they attribute the yod, or that 10th letter of the alphabet, to the hand. It means hand. And the extrusion is hand of God. Well, what gets celebrated on Passover? The Hebrew people had been enslaved in Egypt for over 400 years, according to the stories. And it was time for them to be set free. And Moses, of course, was the deliverer. And the 10 plagues that Moses was told by God to go basically effect on the nation, on Egypt through Pharaoh. And Pharaoh hardened his heart more and more and kept them not only in slavery, but increased their workload. So the 10th tribulation, if you will, the 10th trial, was the death of the firstborn. And God instructed his people to put blood on the doorpost of their home, and the angel of death, as it says in the story, would pass over their home. And that's what's celebrated. And it's been obviously a ritual that has been practiced by the Jews for, if you go back, probably 6,000 or 7,000 years. An incredible history. And the analogy of that is the hand of God basically protecting them. And I'm looking in StreamYard now, and I'm realizing that maybe you guys can't see that at the bottom. The moon is down there at the bottom. So sorry about that. Trying to keep all these pieces moving here. So the hand of God. And the yod is also called the witch's hat, because if you turn it upside down, if you flip that object upside down, it's a long, pointy triangle, isn't it? Well, the implication in astrology is basically that there is something very special coming when you see a yod in the chart. And I just thought, with everything that's going on in the world, how appropriate is it that in the beginning of this Convergence weekend, where three faiths are sending all this energy up into the sky, that up in the sky is the finger of God, the hand of God, saying it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We have protection. I just thought that was the most amazing symbolism. I just thought that was so cool. All right, let's see here. I want to go back and just catch up on a couple of things. Hey, Arnaldo. Good to see you, buddy. All right, I want to get keyed in here. Let's just focus in here and let's see what we can do to help Rogue. We've been doing a lot of release, letting go, allowing in, and at this moment we are alone. Family of origin gone, and now it's my firstborn child who is, let me go down here, inviting in, allowing in, ready to serve and yet doing it alone, waiting and yet heart hurts. Too many words, really. Hey, I just know that we would love to support you, and I know it's probably hard in this venue to communicate. I get it. You know, this is kind of a one way out thing. So, however, by posting in our group or however you'd like to, if you create a post in our group, we'll get it approved tonight. Maybe we could start commenting on it to help. But just know that there is incredible love in this group, and whatever the pain point is there, we'd love to help. Oh, wow. Tom, hey, buddy, how are you? Saw that the three celebrate together once every 33 years. Now, go figure. How about that? Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, that is, oh man, this is great. Okay, let's go back to here because I've got another thing here that I thought we would do. I'm going to pop out of the, like the slideshow part. Okay, now I need to resize here. Oh, how are we doing with this? Let's see here. Okay, well, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. All right, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, here, I'm going to move this up. I hope I'm seeing what you guys are seeing. Okay, so what I thought we could do is think about source here. And the reason I'm doing this like this is that we can write in here. Because part of this exercise, and I kind of sensed in looking at some of the comments this week, that maybe this takes us to some uncomfortable places. Like either things we hadn't thought about or things we might not know about. Like, what is source? Well, it's kind of a good question. What is God? You know, what is out there? Is it malefic, or benefic? Is it malefic or benefic, right? Is source the God that we just described that wipes out firstborn children? I mean, these are serious questions. This is why a lot of people are kind of scared to look at this, because God might not mean warm, fuzzy feelings. And this is why this is so important to do this exercise. I was talking to Lynn last night while I was coming back down from my walk. And she made the comment that she was saying that she believes more and more and more now that whatever we create in our mind is what we really get. And you've heard that, like, when people cross over, that they see whatever they want to see, whatever they're expecting to see. So if people expect to see loved ones, they see loved ones. If they expect Jesus to greet them or some other higher being to greet them, to be there, then they are. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So That's why it's so important to create this list of how are we viewing source for ourselves. So I kind of not only started this list this week, but also grabbed some things that you guys had said. So thinking about unconditional love, peace, joy, happiness, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, all of these characteristics that you see being attributes of this source that we are going to connect with or that we're going to become the list. So, what are we becoming? And if you want to screenshot this, actually, it's in one of the posts, but if you wanted to screenshot this or just take a picture of it with your phone, and then what I thought is if some of you guys have some other comments that you'd like to throw into this list, let me grab them and just add them in here. So, what are some other attributes of source? If we're becoming this list, then what else should we add on here that we should think about becoming? Because when we start to merge with this, consciousness, yes, right here. Yep, absolutely. See, this was something that Melissa posted actually was energy, prana, consciousness. Rather than these human characteristics or these human energies, if you will, that we were talking about, she was forming this up as kind of she was saying I felt like Star Wars. It's like the force that's out there, the force that's with us. These are three that I learned in junior high school, in Christian junior high school. Omniscient, that's basically all knowing. Omnipotent, all powerful. Omnipresent, everywhere at once. Wallace Wattles said it's that formless substance that permeates, penetrates, and fills every open space in the universe. That's omnipresence, everywhere at once. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Things we don't always see or feel, I can guess. Yeah, it's a feeling. Okay, yeah, it's a feeling. White light. That's a good one to add. Let me just stick these on here because I want to make sure that we got. Oops. What do I do here? Oh, okay. What else? 72 names for God in Hebrew. Wow. Sophie, I'm presuming, is that you? Growing a human being is an incredibly powerful experience. Is that not the absolute truth and responsibility to raise a soul? Nothing higher. Nothing higher. How you're forming and formulating and sculpting that soul on earth. Nothing higher. And so many people don't take it seriously. Best friend. Okay, now so we've got a really good list here. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on, right? And this was from a lot of what you guys contributed this week. Okay. So now here was what I thought would be kind of a cool next thing to do is if you would throw down, let's talk about this is kind of how I do stuff, okay? This is if I was just sitting here in the motel room working through this list, this is what I would be doing. I'd make the list and then I go, okay, how am I doing against that list, right? And what I would do is say, well, what are the obstacles that would be coming up that would keep me from being that list. So why don't you guys throw down just real quick, just type in a couple of things and we'll just grab a few of these. What are some of the obstacles that keep us from um, connecting with source or keep us from being, when we say be that list, what's something that keeps us from being that list all the time? Fear? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Fear of failure, right? Fear of failure ourselves, fear of the judgment, fear of not being good enough, right? Fear of sinning, all of those, absolutely. The monkey brain, love it. Small self, yep. Being small, yep. Limiting beliefs. I'm going to try to do this. Ego. Oh boy, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Yep. Opinions of others, which, if it's being expressed on social media, will definitely be negative, right? Except for our page. These are great. You guys are nailing it. Perceptions of others. Yeah. Opinions, perceptions of others. Yes. Oh, that's a good one. The unknown. All right. You see how this is playing out, right? We're growing a list that is very real, that keeps us from being connected with source, which keeps us from manifesting and pulling things into our life and being who we really want to be. I mean, look, you go back and you look at that list and you think, yeah, I'd like to be unconditional love all the time. I'd love to be peaceful and joy and full of joy and happiness. I'd like to be grateful and tell people thank you often. I'd like to be patient when things don't work right. Hello, Thomas. Um, I'd like to be forgiving. I'd like to be accepting, right? But what keeps us from it? This is great. So, the opinion of others. Yep, exactly. We got that. Said from other people, though. Opinion, let's see. Not finding time. Wow. Yes. Oh, yes. Time to focus on it, right? Focus, implement, practice. In other words, we get caught up in the daily. Definitely notice how much people actually believe in God around me. Fear. Definitely noticing how much people do not actually believe in God around me. Wow, let's look at this, Tom. Thanks. Fear of people not understanding. See, okay, so we're back to look at how many times others are showing up in here. Fear of others not understanding, right? Too caught up in the 3D. Yes. Yes. This old, tired, fuddy duddy, let's see if spell checker gets me energy, right? Childhood programming. Yes. Subconscious programming. Oh, you guys are amazing. Let's see what Paula said. I'm going to hop over here. Childhood programming. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yes. Excellent. Oh, there's a good one. Thanks, Arnaldo. You guys know that Arnaldo gets up at 2 in the morning to do this. Met him in Orlando. Right. Yep. We are spread too thin. Triggers. Oh, God, yes. Past hurts. Especially if it's religious or from the church, right? Or family. Okay, that's great. Now let's do the opposite, or let's do the next step. I say do the opposite because that's kind of my go-to thing. Is now what can we do starting tonight to take steps toward this? So why don't we do it this way? Why don't we take the list and let's just kind of attack it because we've got our opposite polarity points. So what's the opposite of fear? If we fear the outcomes, then now what are we going to do to run right into that fear? What's going to be our new tactic? Somebody throw down a quick word. Hope. Love it. Faith, trust. Prayer. Yes. Acceptance. Let's just keep them coming. Even if it's not on just fear, just keep them coming. Any of the things that you see on the list, what resonates with you? And by the way, let's do this. We're going to do our little group meditation here in a second, and we've been scrolling a lot of names up on these different areas. Just as we kind of are working through this last little piece, this last step, take a look at the names as they come up. And this will also, for those of you who are contributing, this will help too. So if you're looking on Facebook, just see who's there, and then on YouTube as well. And kind of hone in energetically with two people. Because when we do our meditation in a few minutes, I want you to have one on your left and one on your right. So that's where we're going with it. So just two people that you want to energetically hold hands with, that you want to embrace, that you want to send love to tonight. Be watching for those two, okay? See if they come up. All right, let's do our opposite. See, this is where I love, this is some Jerry Seinfeld. This is some Jerry Seinfeld psychology right here. You do the opposite. See, we determined our list, what's holding us back. Ooh, I like this. What if up? Because we're dealing with source, right? We're dealing with source. So these are steps that we can take this week. Like we can start tonight. We know that there are obstacles to this, right? We know that there are these, like all through the day, we go, how am I doing? I get I'm a 6 today. Well, these are the things that are holding us back. So these are the verbs, the actions, if you will, that we can put into practice that will focus us in the directions of these characteristics and make them less intimidating or make source less intimidating. I think sometimes we're just intimidated, or like you said, like you guys have said, we feel like we're just going to fail. And these are things that we can do. This is great. Checking in. Oh, yes. Okay. So Fred wrote a book called The Miracle of Attention and Awareness. And Ram Dass, that song that I've been talking about, I love. I am loving awareness. When we become loving awareness, then we can we can love everything that we're aware of. Well, there's basically your solution right there. Right? Oh man. Right. Focus on positivity. Yes. Actively healing conscious programming. Yes. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. Good, Gene. Thanks. Actively healing programming. I hear that there are some pretty good podcasts out about that. Oh, it's been the journey, hasn't it? It sure has. It's been the journey. Um, Gratitude practice. Um, Gene, gratitude is just we realize how little, like Tom was saying, how little people believe around him, how little or how slow people are to just say thank you. I try to do it as often and as quickly as possible. Ooh, I like that, Chet. Thank you. I am. Affirmations, meditations, etc. Okay. Yes, I will post this. Let me see if we've got everything. Let's see. I know we're running off the page here, aren't we? Okay. That's kind of got it right there where I think you guys can see it. All right. I'm going to double up here. So, patience, intention, finding your bliss. Yeah, these are great. Okay. I think this is just fantastic. So what we've done is we've developed a really good list of what holds us back, what prevents us. And the common thing that I'm seeing in here is fear and what others think. So it looks like that we are driven by the opinions of others. Well, maybe there's something to stop and work on right there. I guess maybe I've seen a model of that in my mentor, Fred, because Fred beats to nobody's drum but his own. And the reason he does that is because he knows that he's been able to tune in, develop that muscle, develop that skill, and has and is able to connect with source and connect inside with his own intuition, and that's what he follows. I think maybe that's the answer. Let's do this. So let's put intuition. And then I see over here self criticism and judgment. Yes, I will post this tonight. Okay. Um, I will post this list tonight. All right. So let's think about not being so connected to how others think about what we're doing. Because, okay. And here is a huge one. So the obstacle, wow. Okay. Here's a big obstacle. I'm going to go fear. I'm going to say disassociation because if we kind of do this, wouldn't we be afraid that we're going to become too spiritual or too woo woo or too disconnected with other people or right? Because and somebody mentioned 3D. That's exactly right. That we're going to ascend. Like we're going to ascend in energy. And we might lose some friends over that. I mean, seriously, that people wouldn't be able to understand us or connect with us. That maybe we become this, I don't know, weirdo, you know? I That's a great point right there. So therefore, we play a little bit small so that we won't be too much out there. All right. So what we can do, just to be really practical here, is that we can use these positive step toward the right side column. Okay, see, Liz is saying, yeah, I feared what people would think of becoming a Reiki. Yeah, okay. See, I think this is we're honing in here on exactly what keeps us from playing full out. It's the fear of being great. It's Marianne Williamson's quote, isn't it? It's I forget her exact quote, and I'm not even going to try to butcher it up tonight. If you guys know it, somebody drop it in there. But it's basically our greatest fear is our greatness. Our greatest fear is operating at our greatest level. All right. Well, we've got some great actions, some great lists. I will get these posted. Thank you guys for playing that little game tonight. I really appreciate it. That was awesome. Okay. Let's do a little meditation. If you guys have a candle, if those of you who do just have one handy, great. Let's light them together. I'm just going to light this one. And again, since I'm in here and I don't know what fire detectors or smoke detectors are sensitive to what in here, I'm going to be cautious with this. But let's just spend a few minutes here together connecting to our list. All right. And if you have a candle and can light something, or just like what we've done before here too, is to put our hands on the computer, because that is what is connecting us. Boy, I think we really honed in on something pretty big here tonight. This is great. I think maybe there we go. Thank you, Jean. Thank you very much. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Isn't that it? That is absolutely it. Let's just settle in here to oh. All right, Melissa, take a screenshot and send it to us. Oh, that's great. Mm, mm. Isn't that the truth? Well, and that goes back to our comment about the 3D consciousness. See, we're escaping a level that is getting ready to be old news. And yeah, that's dangerous territory for some. It's threatening. All right. I love you guys. Let's just kind of hone in here on some quick meditation. So like we said, there've been a lot of names, a lot of participation tonight. Thank you. There may be some people that are familiar that you've seen in past weeks. There might be some new people. But just going back through the people that come to your mind right now, one on your left, one on your right, are the people that need the energy that you would provide. So pick two, pick two to stand with in this time. And then just let flash across your mind, maybe up there across your forehead as your eyes are closed, but you're looking up toward your third eye, your forehead area. Think of 3 of the attributes of Source, just 3. Pick 3 things that have come up. I'm not even going to regurgitate them. You pick 3 that come to your mind. 3 attributes of Source. Three that you are going to merge with. You're going to become that list. And now think of an area where you feel inadequate. Back to our list. Maybe it's one of those areas of childhood programming. Maybe it's the fear. Maybe it's the opinions. Think of what comes to your mind now. Just recollect what we've already talked about. That's what your mind and your subconscious is showing you. And then think about how you're going to stand in that space of being that list when those blocks come up this week. And pick 2 or 3 more of those attributes from that list. What's going to make the difference? So now you have more tools in your toolbox. Now you can stand really, really strong. Be willing to be big. Be willing to be bold. Be willing to be 5D before anybody else is. Take the lead. Let Source surround you. Now let's get in a great big circle together. You have someone in mind on the left and someone in mind on the right. Squeeze their hand a little tight. The one on the left, give a squeeze. The one on the right, give a squeeze. And now we join our hearts. And we send as one this intention that we are going to become that list. We're going to do the very best we can to become that list of Source, merging with that power that created us, that power that created you. Sophie's here tonight. You guys send her a prayer. She's had a few little health challenges. She's about 3 weeks out from her delivery. She could use your prayers. What a beautiful soul. And this child that she is bringing into the world, that she's going to raise to be one of these leaders, to take us to 5D, to take us to new consciousness. When the saints go marching in, here comes another one. Feeling like I should blow this out, so I'm going to just do that. I want to get things going in here. Let's just send the intention up that we are going to become that list together. And now that person to your left, you may not even remember their face. That's fine. Just who they are, just their soul, their essence. Send your support to them now in this intention. You're standing for their success in becoming the list, merging with Source. Wow. Send your support, your love, your encouragement energetically. And now the same for the person on the right. Send your support to them as they work this week to become that list. And now just go all the way around the circle. All of us who are here, those who are not here, those who will catch the replay, those who are in your spiritual tribe that will be in your life this week, they're all with us energetically. And send them the same support. So now we're all supporting each other. Let the names and the faces and the comments and the people and the souls represented by these human bodies, these names, these people on a journey here on earth together that have come to this place and this time, at the same moment here to experience this together. Just send us all support across the circle. And then with one big thrust of white light coming from our circle, going up, up, up into the sky, up into the stars, up into the heavens, way up, farther, higher, beyond our solar system, way up into the realms where only Source plays. And now I want you to think of that three-pointed long triangle coming back down, saying, it's all going to be just fine. And feel that connection through that triangle, through those planets that are little pointers in the sky to show us the way, thanking them as we transcend past them and connecting to the true Source beyond them, who is sending us a little message, a little cryptic message. And as Source is winking down at us, we're winking back at Source, saying thank you, gratitude for being my partner in creating, for being my partner in this life, and for protecting me during these challenging days. It's all going to be okay. And if you need some healing in your body with the baby that you are bringing into the world, with your soul, with your spirit, with your emotions, if you need some healing, stand at the point of that triangle in our circle and let that healing energy, that healing part of Source fall on you now. And I stand in there with you. Feel that energy coming down. Merge with it, because that's what we do. So if you merge with the healing, we'd have to presume that healing is going to ensue. Just have to stay merged, not doubt it. How big is that source anyway? Just bask in that energy. I know. Sorry, folks. We have to come back to reality. We have schedules. We have sleep. Some of us have to go back to bed. Hopefully energized and charged. What a beautiful moment. These have become so powerful. I hope that you can feel the presence of Source, this co-creator that gave you life, that wants to do nothing but help and support in every way possible that we will allow, to remove the blocks, to stand in being the list. All we have to do is just practice those attributes. How do you get good at something? Practice, practice, practice. Those of you who play an instrument beautifully today, how did it sound the first time you ever picked it up? I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? And how do you get better? By practicing the right stuff. So instead of practicing the old habits, we're going to practice new habits this week. And we got this because we are powerful, and we're going to stand in that power. Somebody said on the our thing this week, the Clubhouse conversation, that Sarah and Katie, I think in their podcast, were saying that last week they didn't want the thing to end. It's like the energy is so peaceful and it's so heavenly that people didn't want it to end. I know a lot of you need to go. It's at 9:00. There's no time limit here. And if any of you want to just keep chatting, we can. I think one of the things that's kind of cool right now is just to stay in the space of the energy that we're in, kind of not break that. So if we can continue, I'm here. I mean, happy to continue just staying in the space. Maybe we just stay connected. I don't know. Maybe we just stay in each other's space here. Um, Thanks for being here, Gene. And thanks again for the house. And good night. Yeah. Thank you. I love the gratitude. Melissa, what vision? Curious. My friend, thank you for being so faithful and getting up at 2 a.m. to log on to Facebook to do this. You are such a precious soul, and thank you. May you sleep well. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. Amazing. Wow. Yeah. I think what I feel when we're doing these is, first of all, the energy of all of us together. And so the collective energy, feel connected with each of you. And I feel that connection with Source. It's like it is so powerful. It is so powerful. And just sitting and being together is a comfort. It's like, you guys are so amazing. And just being in your energy is so cool. And yeah, my Neptune can take off at times like this too, which I don't mind. Isn't that the truth, Melissa, that doing this, I mean, we've been going since August. We're going to have a 1-year anniversary coming right around the corner. I had no idea. I thought we might do it for a few weeks. Thought maybe a month. You guys keep showing up. And it is very powerful. Oh, so glad you were here, Kristen. Thank you so much. Yeah, and you're new to the group too, so glad you could make it, and welcome. Please jump right in. There's some good people here, as you saw tonight. So thanks for being with us. Good to have you. You know, Katie and Sarah said they'd already planned this. We need to activate the A team, don't we? Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Rogue. We did jump right in. We did jump right in. Absolutely. Okay. There was talk about Sedona. There was talk about here in North Carolina. I'm trying to think. Melissa, would you help me? New Mexico. Yep. I wonder if Jack's in the house. New Mexico's a good place. Melissa, would you help me get connected with Sarah and Katie, and let's kind of talk this up? Because I know they said we got this. So I love that. That would be great. Oh, okay, good. Jack can do that too. You guys want to go to New Mexico, hike around the Jimenez Mountains? There's some good energy up there. A healing sanctuary. Where are you, Rogue? Where are you physically, geographically? Like, well, then we're going to Aspen, Melissa. We're going to Aspen. That's about the only place. No snakes, no scorpions, I don't think, and no mosquitoes. Y'all want to go to Aspen? You're New Jersey. Okay. All right. Because I ask that because let's see, you're cracking me up. There are snakes everywhere. I guess we're not going to Florida. Not this summer, that's for sure. Sorry, Floridians. You'll have to come up here. This is a great place. North Carolina is a great place. There's a lot of hiking. No, there are spiders in Aspen. In fact, I heard of more. Well, I'm not going to go into that. We're not talking about that stuff now. Rogue. Oh, here, let me get see if I can see this. Maybe I can, or maybe I can't. Get your post. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to approve that. Okay, so your post is posted now. No snakes in Hawaii. Yeah, that's true. There are no snakes in Hawaii. There's been a lot of energy around healing centers. In fact, my friend Dawn Sigonius, if some of you were here back in the fall, we did the gong meditation from Dawn's home, and it was incredible. Well, Dawn and her partner just bought a retreat center that's about 30 minutes north of Asheville. And we're going to be hearing quite a few things about that. And that is not ready yet. They have a lot of work to do, but at some point, maybe that could be a place where we could converge. But I don't know. We just kind of need to pick it. And it's like, who can make it, and we'll make it all work out. So, Melissa, why don't you take the lead on that and get with Katie and Sarah and see what they had planned, and let's just make it happen. Okay? Let's make it happen. And I think Jack is definitely a great resource in Albuquerque. So if we want to take a look at that, we could. It is hot there in that time of year. I mean, it would be great if we could go someplace where we could hike and not be subject to super hot area, or hot temperatures. But yeah, so incredible energies, and one of the things that I just take super comfort in are these kids that are coming in. because they are going to be leaders, and man, they are going to come in hot. I mean, they are on their way. So those of us that are on the other side of the timeline of life can take confidence that the troops are on their way. They are coming in, and these kids are going to have a role, but they're going to be up for it. They're coming in with the energy to do it. And we're going to see a generational shift like we've not seen before, probably on the planet, and it's going to be amazing. So that is all definitely lining up, and it's just going to be fun for those of us who are a little older to watch it happen, and also for the folks like Sophie and Jack and Ashley and these folks that are raising these kids. It's going to be the most amazing experience probably that a human could have. I mean, there's just a whole different thing going on. So it's definitely some great stuff ahead. You know, I have no idea what's between here and there, but it doesn't matter because we've got that yod. It's all going to be okay. Source is going to protect us. Yeah. Lyra is their baby's name. Jack, be sure to put some pictures up there for us in our group. I know you put a lot on your personal page, but a lot of people are not connected with you. So if you drop them in there, that would be great. Be awesome. We'd love to share in Lyra's growing up. So, wow. Rogue, I am currently in Asheville and kind of looking. I'm going to go look. I've been looking at some property around here. I'm really thinking that the only way I'm going to be able to do this van thing is to have a home base. I don't mind doing it for a couple of weeks. In fact, it's fun. But I think but I've been looking for a home base, and Asheville would be a kind of like, this is about as good as it can get. So I'm kind of like, okay, let's see what happens here. And from there, I just let the universe guide and, don't get too caught up in any one place. If something works out, great. If it doesn't, then the direction will move, and I'll just keep throwing things out. And pitches to the universe. You remember just talking about pitches to the universe? That's the process. Just making pitches to the universe. So we'll see. All right. This has been so special. Well, you guys aren't kidding. You don't want to drop off. Everybody's still here. It's just sharing in this energy. Oh, man. I could imagine us being together. Sleep will be rare, right? It'll be like nobody wants to go to bed. I'll tell you what's been the key to this, though, has definitely been us combining our energies. And that everybody in here is just vibing really high. It's like, it is like we've created this oasis on our Facebook page. Go figure. But it's because you guys are maintaining that kind of energy. So it really is amazing. All right. I just love you so much. This has been a special weekend. Started with the hand of God. It's been beautiful. And I'm so thankful for each one of you. You're like family to me. And thank you so much. Miss Annie, you are so welcome. Thank you for being on YouTube. This is great. If you want to jump in the Facebook group, it's called Subconscious Mind Mastery and Fun Astrology Podcast Listeners on Facebook. But you can get us here. We're simulcasting this on YouTube now too. So you can catch us both places. But welcome and thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. You caught a good one for the beginning. These things are have amped up substantially. It's time. It's time for that. Thank you so much. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you on the Facebook page. We'll see you on the podcasts. We've got we got 2 fairly energetic days in the sky on Monday and Tuesday. Taurus comes in Tuesday. The sun moves into Taurus Tuesday night. And then the sky kind of takes a breath. And I think we should too. There's been a lot of energy the last 2 weeks. And then the sky is just going, right? The moon peaked on Saturday afternoon. So it's starting to get smaller every day. And there's just nothing wrong with us taking a good rest this week as well. So hopefully you're able to do that and you're amongst work and all the things that you have going on. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you. Happy Easter to those of you celebrating Easter. Happy Passover to those of you celebrating Passover. And happy Ramadan for those of you who are celebrating Ramadan. And thank you for sharing all of your energies tonight. Sending love. See you next week.